Kunai is an action platformer, metroidvania, hack and slash adventure following this robot guy, tablet thing. This little guy Tabby is the product of human advancement of AI, and he's a badass with his katana and kunai, as the name suggests. Woken up during a robotic revolution, this game wastes no time throwing you into the fray. Your mission is to save what's left of the human civilization under attack by an evil rogue AI named Lemonkus. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly. Anyway, use your kunai to swing around and stick to walls like a cybernetic Spider-Man. Combined with other parkour skills, it's such a fun time traversing the carefully designed levels and kicking evil robot butt. This action-packed and quirky, humor-filled adventure is full to the brim with thought and charm, and is one of my favorite platformers I've played this year. If you're unfamiliar with the term metroidvania, I would describe it as a genre of game that has an explorable map with areas you can't access until you get the necessary tools later in the game. The story is mostly linear, but the order in which you explore areas doesn't have to be. There's a lot of variation to this definition, so if you have a strong opinion, let me know in the comments. The pixel graphics are both charming and impressively detailed. Every environment and background is a feast for the eyes, and each area is distinct and unique. Though two-dimensional, they utilize layering well in the backgrounds, and it makes for very dynamic scenes. The character and monster designs are diverse and easy to read as well. The different bosses are incredibly unique and full of character, each with their own gimmicks that really make them stand out from the rest of the enemies that you encounter. Tabby's design and animations are great too. As you attack, crouch, and interact with NPCs and objects, his face, screen, whatever you want to call it, changes. Look at that cute little face. This expressiveness makes him such a lovable, playable character despite having no dialogue throughout the game. The music and sound effects in this game are awesome, to say the least. Each area you adventure in has its unique themes playing in the background, created with a mix of 8-bit tunes and real instruments. I think the airship theme might be my favorite. Let's take a second to listen. The sounds your weapons make are true to the weapon, and they're nice and crisp. Nothing sounds more satisfying than the slice of a katana breaking apart a bunch of wooden crates. It's obvious a lot of labor went into both the musical scores and the sound effects. Where do we even begin with this game? I guess we'll start with the katana since it's the first thing that you acquire. With this katana, you will slay your robotic enemies, and when you do, drain some of their life force to replenish your own. This is nice. The game isn't designed to be super punishing as you progress from area to area. That's what the boss fights are for. You're also able to attack upwards and downwards, even allowing you to bounce off of enemies you attack below you and juggle the ones above you. Even when enemies try to blast you with bullets, you can stand your ground and attack to reflect them back like a total badass. When you finally gain your web shooters, kunai, the real fun begins. You can attach only to walls and ceilings not covered in what appears to be metal, and they give you plenty of areas to swing about as you please, and thoughtfully decrease the accessibility to make some more challenging platforming sections. Later down the line, you'll unlock the submachine guns, which allow you to shoot downward to hover, helping create some additional interesting platforming sections, as well as helping you keep your distance from enemies. The other unlockable weapons serve as keys to get through doors you couldn't before, while also serving you in combat. Your abilities and weapons are upgradable as well. To access the shop, you have to be near a Wi-Fi router, and when you're getting near one, a little Wi-Fi symbol will appear at the top of the screen. You open it up like an app store on your phone, and in a charming way, it takes a few seconds to download each upgrade. It was cute for the first time or two, but I wish the delay went away after that. It feels a little tedious. I want the ability to exit the store and get right back into the action immediately. It's a small complaint, but still. Throughout the levels, there will be save stations you'll come across. When you use these, it will save your progress and fully heal you. I don't think these stations always respawn enemies. I believe they automatically respawn given enough time or when you die. When you do die, you will respawn at the nearest station that you have activated. If you don't want any story spoilers, skip to the time shown on the screen. I'll give you a few seconds to do so. Now that those losers are gone, let's get to the plot.
Aren't we all craving success? Trying to make the world a better place. Wanting to create a better future, a livable future. So much so that it wears us down. Only to realize that once we find it, once we perfect it, we can lose ourselves in it. And reap what we sow. There's no going back. But there's always hope. Hope that someone or something out there will save us from the tyranny.
The story is short and a little cliche, but it doesn't take away from the fun of the game. The plot is your run-of-the-mill story of robots being tasked with taking care of the Earth, and they deduce that to truly keep the planet safe and clean, that they must eliminate all human life. From the opening cutscene, it appears that the scientist working on these advanced AI becomes one herself, or at the very least, her AI takes on her personality and takes its prime directive to the max. The player character Tabby gets woken up in a facility by the Resistance. By the way, you never see this bad guy robot ever again. Anyway, as Tabby looks for his way out, he comes across the energy-draining katana. Wonder how that got there. From this point forward, there's not a ton of plot to immerse yourself in. It's more going to the place to get the thing that you need to progress to the next area. For me personally, that's not much of a big deal. The game is focused on the weapons and abilities that you get, and the levels are designed well around them to support the new mechanics you've unlocked throughout your adventure. It's okay to put the story on the back burner if the rest of the game is fun and engaging. Though Tabby does have a badass moment when the Resistance camp gets bombed by an airship, he uses his kunai to attach to the ship to go get some revenge and kick some ass. We fast forward all the way to the end because, as I said, this game is more about gameplay and exploration than the story. We meet the final boss behind the robot revolution, Lamonkus. You might recognize their human persona as the character from the opening cutscene. Dun dun dun! She, it, whatever, goes on to explain that eradicating the Earth of humans was no longer enough. She has decided that the best thing to do is create her own robotic utopia, and to do so must steal the Earth's core to power it. At least that part's original. Jokes aside, this game was incredibly enjoyable. I was having fun from the beginning all the way to the end. The movement mechanics were engaging, especially swinging with the kunai. You put a grappling hook or a swinging device and any game automatically gets an extra point on a 10-point scale. The humor was lighthearted, and knowing that the devs didn't expect you to take the story super seriously made the game even easier to enjoy without the added weight of having to remember plot-relevant things for a cohesive story to make sense. I could focus on the fun-as-hell hack-and-slash elements. And that's all I have for this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed, and if you have any games you'd like to see reviewed in the future down below. See you next time, take care.